Signore e signori,
dichiaro aperta la celebrazione Giochi Olimpici Invernali.
Si sta avvicinando allo stadio.
Forza, forza! Dai! Dal record della pista! Prima!
Buongiorno and welcome to Keep the Flame Alive's Day 15 coverage of the Milano Cortina 2026 Winter Olympic Games. I am your host, Jill Jaracz, coming to you from Schutzlastan House, joined as always by my lovely co-host, Alison Brown. Alison, ciao, como stai?
Ciao. I'm better now that I ate dinner.
I know. I didn't know what I was eating because it was Spätzle a la Tyrolaise. It's from Tyrol. And I thought it was going to be noodly, and it turned out to be like the green bean casserole of Tyrol.
Which is not a bad option.
No, I'll take
Surprise.
I'll take it. It's been a weird eating day because I did have a sandwich at the ice hockey venue because I had to. It was not a good food day. There were a lot of carbs and it just stuff that I had stuff,
but that
not
had
good
no substance.
Yeah, no substance, and I needed some substance. So it was well, first they thought I wanted the microwaved. Maybe it was risotto with shrimp on it. Oh. And if there's nothing that makes me turn away more than like, I did not order that. Then they were like, oh, the chicken sandwich. Okay, the cutlet. I said polo. And I guess they needed to hear cutlet. And it was also microwaved. But it was what I needed.
I have just been hungry all day. You could not ply me with enough food today.
I know.
So I went to the figure skating exhibition, and I was distracted by how hungry I was.
Oh no!
But I did enjoy it, and we will get to that later.
All right, excellent. We have a little follow-up date. Kamila Sellier from Poland, who had that horrific accident at the short track event.
Oh yes.
Also, it cut her eyelid. The skate blade also cut her eyelid. I know. Apparently, she is doing well. She had some sort of surgery and seems to be okay. She has been posting on Instagram. So,
well, God bless her. I hope she's doing well.
Yes, exactly.
That is scary. So I did forget something yesterday.
You did? Good, because I don't think I forgot anything.
From the Canada match, the Canada hockey game, they played You Ain't Seen Nothing Yet at the end of the game. Now, this was the same song that they had used for the Canada goals in the women's games.
Oh, but they didn't do that for the men's?
But they do not seem to do the goal song for the men's games.
They had goal songs tonight.
Did they?
Yes.
Well, they didn't yesterday.
Huh.
Or maybe I just didn't realize it, but they didn't have the same one that they had for the Canadian women. But then they played that song at the end of the game when Canada won.
Oh, that's interesting.
So it was a confusing musical endeavor here.
Yeah, well, I have notes about the songs for Finland and Slovakia, which I was glad I got to hear both of those. It was one of those like, oh, here's a bonus for coming to this game. You don't just get to see Finland. You get to hear the song.
And we know the song's the most important thing.
Yes. We got some feedback. So listener Patrick looked up for us. We talked about how figure skating and the women's figure skating free skate and the women's gold medal hockey game were on the same night. We thought that was odd. But Patrick from Chicagoland looked it up for us. And when he saw 2022, he remembered the reason. It was because China wanted the pairs to be the last skate because of Sui and Han.
Yeah, because generally the women's is the last discipline that goes, but the Chinese mixed it up because they were counting on getting that gold medal in the pair, so they wanted that to be the highlighted discipline. So they were at the end.
And boy, did we need that then. After the women's competition, we certainly needed Sui and Han.
We needed some joy in Mudville, that was for sure.
And listener Brian also had a hot take on that, which I'm going to paraphrase. He thinks that the women's hockey is not the second most important event on the overall calendar, since the main markets are like North America and parts of Scandinavia. So, And that's where you see that breaks out over the last 30 years. Canada has always been in the gold medal game ever since the women's hockey has been on. And the only one who hasn't been besides the U.S. is Sweden, or who has been. It's been the U.S. and one time Sweden got into the gold medal game.
So nobody cares except for North America.
Yeah, kind of. And even though,
That's fair.
So, you've got women's alpine, which is bigger worldwide, freestyle skiing, which is bigger regionally, it's big everywhere. So we'll see. But it'd be nice.
Because you can't have everything not on the same night.
Right.
There are going to be some things. It's just kind of it was an odd scheduling choice. And on a
At
Thursday.
least for a North American.
Exactly. For North America. Especially when, I think we noticed it especially because there was an American in a position for gold medals in both events. Mm-hmm. And ended up being American victories in both. Mm-hmm. So certainly the American audience was very conflicted as to what to watch.
Yes. Is there an officiating or volunteer job you would like to do?
Well, I would like the volunteer portion of this. So in Skimo, I was watching the relay today, and there's a volunteer that stands in the transition area. Now, he is not the official who is watching the transition. Mm-hmm. He just was standing there. I did not know the purpose of the standing there volunteer in the transition area. Like if things fell out of it, was he supposed to go and fetch them? Or was he just, he didn't say anything, like he wasn't encouraging the racers, which I certainly would have done in that role. So I would like this role because I would like to know what it actually entails besides just standing there while they transition wildly.
Maybe they have different, I went down a rabbit hole because of the Facebook group talking about how there was a protest, I think, in one of the events, and a penalty was given, and the U.S. thought it should have been more.
Yes,
we'll get to it, but I did find out that there are some wild penalties for, like, you have to lay down your ski poles in the transition.
Yes,
and there are penalties that range from like 3 seconds to a minute. It's really complex and detailed, but we'll get there. I think I want to be the bobsled ice plasterer.
Oh, that's a great job.
Yeah, I saw that today when poor Austria, I saw them wipe out, like, not that far from the top. They flipped over and on the side, I guess, thank goodness, and then just kept going.
And then got stuck, and they couldn't get the driver out.
Right, and they couldn't get over the finish line either.
We're laughing at it because they all walked away from the accident. But
but it was rough.
And so there were giant chunks that came out of the track, and these little people came scurrying in with their pails
and their like,
spackles.
Yes, exactly, and they just spackled it and made it smooth again. And I thought that was a pretty good job.
I thought so too. I enjoyed that.
You had a cultural moment today.
I went to the train station, and I am really, really concerned about getting to the airport.
Oh no! Oh no!
Centrale Station is huge.
Yeah, it is very big.
And it is very complicated, and I'm going to have a suitcase, and the volunteer was so sweet. He showed me how to go, but I don't remember because it was so complicated. So I'm hoping that when I get there, there'll still be a volunteer in that office.
Oh no.
So he can show me again when it's actually time.
Was there a special track you have to take? Or?
Well, there's a special lane that we can go in.
Oh, okay.
Which is good. Mm-hmm. And then after that, then you find your track.
Oh, okay.
But you're out at the tracks. There's no board.
Oh, okay.
At that point. So I'm considering just giving up and getting an Uber because I have to be there so early.
And it's a very long way to the airport. It's a good hour on the train.
Yes.
Good luck.
Thanks.
We are so close to the end. There's only one more day left for Milano Cortina 2026, but we the podcast, we're not done. The cauldron at Keep the Flame Alive never goes out. But that said, it does require financial fuel to keep it going. and we appreciate the support of listeners like you who make sure that happens. If you would like to be one of those supporters, please go to flamealivepod.com/support and see the variety of options we have available. If you appreciate the independent voice we bring and how it helps you enjoy the Olympics even more, please consider supporting us today. That's at flamealivepod.com. Results. A lot of stuff ended today.
A lot of stuff ended today, but it's almost surprising how much stuff was still going on today.
Yes.
Considering tomorrow is closing ceremony day.
Yes. We have biathlon. It was the last day for biathlon. The women had the 12.5 kilometer mass start in a very snowy Antholz.
Yes.
And
well, let's just start by saying there was a very snowy place everywhere except in Milan.
Right, where it was very hot. Again, beautiful day. Slight nip in the air, slight spring nip in the air. So I dressed for that and not the hockey venue.
Oh, were you cold in
freezing.
Oh, the hockey venue yesterday was pretty comfortable.
Yeah, not today. Not today. Unfortunately, not today.
I'm sorry. But yes, so there was snow everywhere. We're going to be saying that a lot.
Yes. Gold went to Océane Michelin from France, who expected to do just one race at these games and did 4, and she got 2 golds and the silver. She was crying so much at the end. She couldn't believe it. And we're seeing like a new generation coming up here with this Olympics. It's bittersweet because I'm going to miss the old guard, but it's nice to see the new guard come in. Silver went to France's Julia Simon, who just edged out Teresa Vorbonikova from Czechia. And this was the last race for Italy's Dorothea Viera, who's one of our household favorites. She placed 5th, unfortunately had a little bit of trouble in some of the shooting. She was leading for a good chunk of the race. And then bad times happened. And then Franziska Preuss from Germany, she placed 28th. They did a little farewell ski together.
I saw that with the flags.
And there was a big banner across the front of the stands that said thank you in 3 languages. It was really beautiful. Could not cry.
Biathlon's big on that sort of thing.
It is. They know how to do it. I mean, it's a huge sport in Europe. Well, it's a huge sport in Germany and Norway and Sweden. And you would think it's big in Italy, but Dorothea Viera has said, like, they don't really show it on TV here, even though she's been one of the big biathletes in the last several years. And sometimes the Italian team does very well, but I guess not. Oh, and in France it's huge too. So you get these crazy biathlon fans
that follow the circuit.
I know. I want to follow the circuit one year, maybe write a book about it. But the fans are nuts, and it's so exciting. And they really showed up in Anholz for that. Producer Ben sent me a message. He's like, "Do you have time for a call?" And I immediately thought something is wrong, and I hustled my way out of the long track speed skating rink and got outside. And like, "What's wrong?" And he's like, "Oh, there seemed to be a hot mic situation on Peacock." And it wasn't bad, but it was somebody who wasn't a commentator, so he thought it might have been a producer, had basically said, like, "Oh, the women's race was so much more exciting than the men's." So,
well, they're not wrong.
If you heard that on Peacock, let us know, because that's on my list for when I get home and see if it's on the replay. So yes, biathlon is done. It was an exciting competition with a lot of new winners and new medalists. So it's going to be a fun rest of the season. I think, well, I'm sure people are going to be very tired still. Like, that's going to be tough for the last 3 World Cups, but
bodes well for the next quad.
Yeah, that's right. Over in bobsled, we had the first 2 heats of the 4-man, and then we had the rest of the women's 2-woman competition. So in the 4-man, it's Germany. Johannes Lochner, Francisco Friedrich, and Adam Amor are your drivers in that order. Frank Del Duca and Josh Williamson, and the 2 other men in there.
Whoever, because we don't care about them.
We care about them because they're a team, but we didn't interview them. So they are in 12th overall. They got 14th in their first run and 9th in their second run. So a little tough. The track looks really The track looks tough to drive.
I would agree with that because it seems like even the top drivers are banging all over the place.
Yeah, and I keep thinking more people should be flipping over.
Yes.
The way they hit there's a couple of curves where there's wood involved at the top, and you think that they're just going to go up in the wood and flip, and they don't.
Yes. I keep thinking, why is there wood there? Why is there no ice there? Because they get very close to it. Of course, that could be just a perception issue from the TV, but I don't think it is.
I don't know. We should find out. But it also is like, well, is it done or is it finished? That's also what I started thinking. Was that how it was supposed to be? But those turns, some of them look just really, really tight. Also, Adam Edelman and his sled from Israel, they are in 24th.
Yeah, 3 teams crashed out today. You mentioned Austria, but also France and Trinidad and Tobago will not be finishing the race because they crashed.
Did you see them at all?
I saw the Austria crash.
Okay, because I tried to watch as well, and I was triple screening with one screen being the live thing in front of me. And because the HBO Max popped up, it was like, gold medal curling match, it's in the 9th end. And I was like, fine, I'll put it on too. I just couldn't keep track of everything. Then we had the end of the 2-woman competition. Gold went to Laura Nolte and Deborah Levi from Germany. This is a repeat gold for them. Silver went to Germany's Lisa Buckwitz and Neela Schutten. And bronze went to Kaylee Armbruster Humphreys and Jasmine Jones from the U.S. It is the 6th career Olympic medal for Kaylee. She's tied with Alana Myers-Taylor for most by a female bobsledder from any nation, and tied for 2nd in terms of all bobsledders. That's pretty amazing.
No joke. These women in the bobsled.
I know.
They are amazing.
In cross country, we have our second to last race, but this is wrapping up the men's competition with the 50-kilometer mass start classic.
Okay, and before we give the results, I bet you can guess who won the gold.
Can you believe that? I can believe this, but it's just wild. If you're looking for the GOAT of the games, it is Johannes Klaebo, who won gold for Norway. He's 6 for 6 in his races, 6 races, 6 gold medals. Unreal.
So the only 2 men who have won more gold medals in a single Olympics, Mark Spitz and Michael Phelps.
Yeah, there's nobody that's touching him in the winter side. And this is his 3rd games. That's what's amazing to me is he's now in his prime. I think he's in his prime. We could find his prime next time. But yeah, he was drafting a little bit. The podium is all Norway, so it was kind of a team working together for a little bit. You know, they decided not to switch skis because I guess you can partway through the race, but they were worried about the wax. You know, the wax they had on their skis was good enough.
And they didn't want to mess with that.
Yeah, exactly.
Fair
exactly.
enough.
So they were all tempted to, but they decided not to. But Klaebo finished 8.9 seconds ahead of his teammate, Martin Lostrom Nanget, and bronze went to Emil Iversen. Our Shuklastani Gus Schumacher finished 13th. So it's been a really good games for the U.S. men's cross-country team.
Yeah, they've made some real progress. I mean, a medal after 50 years, not the least of which being that.
2 medals.
Yes.
So, I mean, that's like double the improvement.
And it's, you know, you're never going to be Norway. We're never going to be Norway.
No, but we can try.
Everyone tries to be Norway. Or you just try to be Johannes Klaebo. He and of himself wins all the medals.
Right. So really, if you're thinking about having children and you're thinking about your children becoming gold medalists in cross-country skiing, you start skiing now, women. So that they can start skiing in utero.
Like the Norwegians do.
Right? And we know your uterus is not going to fall out.
Yes.
Pretty assured that the skiing will not contribute to that. And then once they start toddling around, I think even crawling, you could probably just put their knees on little skis and say, Let's get you started.
You want to be like Johannes Klaebo,
Right.
don't you?
Right.
I don't want to do it, Mommy. I don't like skiing. I don't care.
Right? Just get roller skis, no bikes, just all roller skis, and then cross country skis.
Thighs of steel.
Right? It could be done someday. Someday.
I don't want to cross country ski anymore, Mommy. It's boring.
I'll give you boring. Boring is not a fourth place finish. That's boring. But that's bad. That's mean because they tried. Over in curling, we had the women's bronze medal game. Canada beat the U.S. 10-7.
There were some mistakes.
Oh, on the U.S.'s part?
On the U.S.'s side, there were some bad rocks that happened in this, and it was a very frustrating game to watch because they were getting super frustrated.
Oh, that's tough.
And that was hard to watch.
That's tough. But I guess it's one of the best finishes by the U.S.
Fourth place is not bad.
No, not at all. So very good. Even though in cross country.
Fourth place is nothing. But I got fourth place, Mommy. It doesn't matter. Gold or nothing, child.
It's okay. But I'm from the U.S.
I don't care. We are Norwegian in spirit.
All right, curling will have the gold medal game tomorrow between Switzerland and Sweden. And then we had the men's gold medal game, which was Canada versus Great Britain. Whoa. Canada won 9-6. This really was, I guess it was back and forth. And then Canada got 3 in the 9th when I tuned in. And then it was 8-6. And Great Britain had the hammer on the last end, but they couldn't clear enough stones. And Canada won.
This has got to be controversial because of Mark Kennedy and his finger gate.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure there are people who are not too happy about this. So.
Well,
Interesting. Curling in the news. We'll
fair enough.
Keep looking at it. Gold goes to Canada, silver to Great Britain, and bronze to Switzerland. So the men's curling is all wrapped up. Just waiting for the women's game. Figure skating. You went to the exhibition.
I did go to the exhibition, and they made a theme for it, which I thought was very interesting because obviously all these skaters have their exhibition programs that they do on their own, but they tried to put a theme around the show, and it was Talent Takes Shape. So throughout the evening, Valentina Marche and Ben Augusta would come on and give these little poetic tidbits of, what we think of talent. And now you're coming into your own, and now the world is discovering your talent. And it was nice.
Okay.
It was a little unnecessary, but I appreciated the effort. But where we've been talking about how they don't do any projection mapping? Mm-hmm. That's because they saved it all for the exhibition.
Oh.
There was more light show projection things happening during this exhibition gala than I have seen the entire Olympics.
Wow.
So many
So
lights
that's where the
and
budget
effects.
went.
That's where the budget went. And it was really lovely. You had all the medalists, and then you had a select skaters like Ilya Malinin, because you wanted him to come. He's the only one who got a standing ovation for the night. He did a program that was about being overwhelmed with pressure.
Did he just choreograph this?
I don't know if I do not think it is a new program. I think this has been his exhibition program for the season. And it was just so timely. And at the beginning of the program, he's getting voicemails and emails and messages and DMs, and he's like pretending to be on a phone, and the music has all the do 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 beep 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 beep, and he just gets so overwhelmed with it. So it was really dramatic and really beautiful. And of course, you do a backflip and the crowd goes wild. Couple of questionable choices. I say questionable, but they were really a lot of fun. Guns N' Roses.
Okay.
Shakira.
Fine.
There was a Mortal Kombat
Okay.
themed program, but the best. Michael Shadoroff brought the panda costume back and did the Kung Fu Panda program.
Cute.
He jumps in the full panda costume.
How does he pack that? That has to be big.
You know what? that maybe comes in freight with like the Kazakh luges or something. I don't know how the panda costume makes it, but it's great. And you got to love the Olympic gold medalist just having no shame whatsoever and being like, I'm going to put on a panda costume and mimic a fart in the middle of the program. And I'm just going to go for it. And it's going to be fun. And everyone's going to love me because we all do. So, yes. The one thing that made me laugh that wasn't supposed to make me laugh was Chalk and Bates, because I've spoken about how that long program costume with the matador cape / skirt has a visceral reaction, and I hate it so much. It's like they heard me and they brought a bed sheet to dance with. So it was sort of like a lycra material, so it would move, and so they used it like a rope, and they used it like a chain, and they used it like a scarf, and then at one point he wraps her up in it like a mummy.
Far out.
It was very cool, but all I kept thinking was, you just wanted to irritate me with this bed sheet because the skirt wasn't enough. And then at the end, they all come on. All 50 skaters were involved in this.
Holy cow.
Because all of Team USA did a team number. All of Team Italia did a team number.
Wow.
Then you had all the medalists and then the additional guests.
Holy cow.
So at the end, we had 50 skaters on the ice, which was pretty great.
Wow. That's impressive.
I would go back, if you haven't seen it, just to see Shadorov do a double jump in a panda costume. Highly recommend, 10 out of 10.
And it's figure skating. I think we need like a luge. I need a sliding gala.
I know you're not a big fan of the gala because you feel like, what's the point of a gala? It's a competition. Mm-hmm. Nobody else has a gala.
Right.
But nobody else can dance with a bed sheet.
You don't know that.
Or, yeah, I mean, I guess if they're going to luge with a bed sheet and in full panda costume, I am all for that gala.
Right. You could cross country ski with the bed sheet. You'd be bringing back ski ballet.
I am not against that, by the way.
Okay, we are going to move over to freestyle skiing, where the men had the ski cross today. And I had this on a little bit in the beginning, and this is what I think the ski mountaineering needs for the sprint event to make it longer and more enjoyable. They had a single run for seeding, so everyone went down the course individually to seed them and get into heats. And I think we need to do that with the ski mountaineering.
Huh.
Send everybody up alone, because that way you get to see the course more.
When we get to ski mountaineering,
Yes.
we'll talk about that, because this was a very different race than we saw in sprints.
It was. But again, the weather, a lot of snow, and that changed every lap of the course and how fast it was. So it really was a lot of technical work for these men, and Italy came out on top. Simona Dolomitis won gold. Federico Tomasoni won silver in a photo finish. And he lives very close to Livigno. So this is really home turf
Really
for
home
him.
snow.
Home turf for him. And bronze went to Alex Fiva from Switzerland, who is 40 years old.
We're going to say that again today.
I know. It's been a good day for the 40-year-olds. And the other two are like 25 and 28. So he's like, yeah, I felt my age today. But he still got a medal.
He felt his age, and his age felt bronzed.
That's right. In the mixed team aerials, gold went to USA, silver to Switzerland, bronze to China. So the final four teams, which the fourth team was Australia, Switzerland, China, and the US all had 2 males and 1 female, but Australia had 2 females and 1 male. So I'm curious about, like, do they have a strategy for team makeup, or is that just well, this is who we've got here kind of thing?
Who qualified?
Yeah. So I do wonder. And you also invariably, because there are only 3 skiers in this, you have an event that creates inequality for either gender. You know what I mean? because you're going to have a team with 2 males and 1 female. So
Right.
then there's fewer females who get to participate. Or if you have 2 females and 1 male, then the males get
Right, just
shafted.
by its nature.
Yes. So
But
I'm
making
wondering-
it more may then limit who can do the event. Not enough countries then could field 4.
I'm curious about that. Is the talent that deep? It might be, it might not be, or they just don't want to have another quota. I don't know. But could go on the list because we haven't talked about aerials in a long time.
That's true.
The last jump, China biffed the landing, which was I know the notes are not perfect. So listeners, it's been a long 2 weeks and we're on the penultimate day. It's the couple who has won gold. They're both on the team. And then there's a person that's not in the couple.
That we know of. It could be a
And
throuple for all we know.
Don't want to know. It's not, that's too much information. for me.
China's team is a throuple.
No, we don't know that for sure.
No.
But it had a huge degree of difficulty and boffed the landing. But that huge degree of difficulty put them into the medals. It was one of those. It's kind of like the degree of difficulty is so high that even though the landing is messed up, you still have so many points coming your way versus some of the other jumpers, especially the females, in some of the teams had really low points. And I did not see the whole competition, so I don't know if they had troubles with their landings or just some of the degree of difficulty was not as nearly as high as the men in their team. USA did not have the same degree of difficulty as China did, but they nailed everything. So that helped them out. Snow falling there can affect the approach speed. Learned that today. That was interesting. So if you are slower going in, you're probably not able to do as many twists and flips or whatever.
Makes sense.
This is a back-to-back gold medal for the U.S. Not necessarily a repeat.
Right, because it's different skiers.
Probably. Women's free ski half pipe. The final has been rescheduled to tomorrow morning because of snow. So we'll see how that goes. But Cassie Sharp from Canada, who had qualified 3rd, had a crash. She has not been medically cleared to compete in the final. So sorry for that because we don't want to hear that. But hopefully she's going to be on the men soon.
Yeah.
In ice hockey, as I said, who has 2 thumbs and can't dress for the hockey rink? This girl. After 2 weeks of this, I'm still not picking the right clothes for the hockey. I'm picking for the right clothes for walking around Milan.
Yeah, it's very difficult when it's 60 degrees out and then you go into a hockey arena and it's 45 in the arena.
Yeah. And no time to come back and change and go because it's just too far away.
Right. And so you're either carrying layers with you, which is what I've been doing, which is kind of a pain with all of our other things that are coming with us, or you're sweating to death in the train.
Yes.
And then trust me, nobody wants to sit next to you in that hockey game.
And that's fine. Well, it didn't matter. I got a seated table. I was there early enough. I kept thinking this started at 8, and apparently it started at 9 because I was there mondo early for this.
Oh, I had it written down as 8 too.
8 or 8:10. It just felt like it did not start until much later.
Huh.
And I was not happy about that. But it is what it is. I got a table. And I'm one of the first in my row, but I'm 3 or 4 tables up.
Right.
And so I can't see chunks of the rink. And I'm standing up, and during the game I stand up to look at something, and I look down and I realize I'm the only woman in the press tribune. I'm like, whoa, wait a second. And I see a couple women who are in broadcast, not on the mics, but doing broadcast stuff at the tables. Like, whoa, this has been a while since I've had this situation go on.
Yeah, not so much here. We haven't felt that.
No, but today was the first time I felt that, and that was weird.
Hockey.
But it was the bronze medal game for the men. Finland crushed Slovakia 6-1. I left after 5-1, which was not that much left to go in the game. By the time I got down all of the stairs, I heard the horns go again. And then I heard the Party to the Left song, which is for Finland. And there's a whole bunch of other words, but Party to the Left is a big phrase. And then Slovakia has some other song that people knew in the audience. So that was a big Slovak pump up song. But Slovakia did not look great, although they were kind of close on scores.
Wait, the note you wrote for the Slovakia song.
It's Teeny Teeny Bop. Well, I only heard it once, but...
Teeny Teeny Bop. I don't even care what song it is, but the fact that that's how you identified it, I think needed to be acknowledged.
Wait. Yeah, so the Slovakia goal was sounded like Teeny Teeny Bop to me, but I could not tell what it was. But they knew it.
Which is all that matters.
One thing that I did like is that they did the freeze cam.
Yes, we do love freeze cam.
They put a baby on the freeze cam, like not a brand new baby, but somebody who was maybe 4 months old with the big headphone cans on. And it was just dad holding the baby up, freeze.
And turning it, and then, oh, freeze.
That was fun. Wonderwall was our karaoke for the night.
Yes, it was our karaoke last night as well. Why?
I don't know, but people were happy about this.
Oh,
and
good.
A lot of singing happened, even though Wonderwall is not a peppy tune. But it is peppier than Imagine.
Oh, anything but Imagine.
The worst karaoke song that we've got on the rotation. Still, I'm not happy that we don't know any fun Italian songs. Because I heard Freed from Desire at least twice tonight at hockey alone. And that always makes me think of Paris.
Yes.
That's a Paris song. So, Italy, you're making me sad about the soundtrack. If I think about the soundtrack from the games, it's Freebird for me.
That's definitely up there.
So, boy, oh boy. But Finland, well done. It was exciting to watch them. It was a little sloppy, I'll tell you that. A little bit sloppy of a game, but they pulled it out. That pulled it out in a big way. But yeah, they got a couple of goals pretty handily, and then Slovakia came back with one. I thought, oh, now we've got a game. And then goals 4 and 5 came very close. No, two of the next goal
432 came quickly.
Right, they had another 2 that came back to back, basically, and then it was kind of like, oh, this is over.
I hear you.
Ski mountaineering. So we watched the mixed relay today.
Yes. So this was a much longer race.
Yes,
this
that
was
was
closer
nicer.
to half an hour. So you really got a good view. So
And then I was like, when I saw how much it was, oh, I wish I could have gone. But it was also snowing there.
Right. I was going to say you couldn't have gone because I never would have gotten you back because I kept getting notices in my transit app about how the buses weren't running.
Well, I almost didn't get back anyway because I couldn't get out of the train station tonight. Again, this is what I needed to tell you before I forgot. So the deal is with our transit tickets that we get, they give us free transportation locally and also special buses and regional trains. And so it comes on a QR code, and the you have to code in to go into the trains and code out to come out of the trains. And the QR code reader is right next to the tap and go reader. So if you had a credit card and were paying with a credit card, you'd get that. So sometimes my QR code won't load. First off, I have that problem sometimes. Secondly, it wants me to verify it's me. And
how are you supposed to do that?
I don't know. I don't know if it's trying to read off of the tap and go, if I'm too close to that one. But sometimes it's just like it won't let me through the gate because it wants me to verify it's me. Well, tonight we had another problem. And I thought this was going to happen when it happened. I'm like, oh boy. Leave hockey, get on the shuttle, go to the train station.
Yes.
Walk in, and I'm trying to tap my QR code, and it wants me to verify it's me. It's not clicking through. And there's a transit worker right there, and she just taps me in. Well, she taps me in. That means I can't tap out.
Because you never tapped in.
So I get to Jerusalem, our station, and I try to tap out, and it's like, you didn't tap in. And I was like, oh no. oh no. And I'm going to try to sneak through with other people again. I just can't quite do it. And then I go to the other side where you tap to go in, and I'm trying to think, can I put my phone across and tap in and come out? And then I text you, please come and get me.
Which I didn't see immediately.
And then something else happened and I got in or I got through. And then there were two women standing there. They were like, we wanted to make sure you got through. We didn't know how to help, but we wanted to say, we wanted to make sure you got in. And I think it just opened somehow, or I was able to get in with another person. But it was just like, oh, my worst fears were realized right here.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. I would have figured it out somehow. But yeah, the transit, and it's not hard. I love the transit app. I will say that. I love the QR code.
It's very simple when it works properly.
Yes, but it's very phone dependent. So if you have a glitchy phone day, you're going to have trouble with your QR code.
You're in trouble.
Anyhow, back to Skimo.
So there are two sections of the course. So they go through it.
So they go up and then down and up and down.
Correct. Each person. And they do it twice.
Yes. So that's 4 laps.
Yes. And it took close to half an hour to go through this. So
fantastic.
In one course, it had the steps, and in one course, it did not.
Yes.
It took me a while. It took me at least 5 minutes to understand how this was explained to me. But then as I watched, I got it. I was like, thank you. And they called the obstacle course the diamond course.
Oh, because you had to do a diamond around.
You had to do a diamond shape, which I was like, oh, it's a diamond course. That made it sound fancy. But the wildest thing was the up and down means you have to take off the skins, but you also have to put the skins back onto the skis.
Yeah. And then you came down the hill. There was something like they had to put the skins.
So the women had to put the skins back on after they came down the hill to go back to the men to tap them out.
Yes, that was wild.
So they had to do an extra skin adhesion. Always make the women do an extra work. So that they could then tag their partner to start his leg of the
wild.
race.
That was wild. But I did like this. And that course is really steep.
It is extraordinarily steep.
And I'm not sure TV showed that super well, but having been to Bormio and knowing how steep that was, like, ooh, they are really working.
Yes. I was exhausted just watching them. I was really fascinated with the skins on, skins off, skins on portion. Mm-hmm. I really want to find out about that. Like, do you ever screw it up?
I bet it takes a while to get the rhythm.
Yes.
Because everyone had a rhythm. And if you don't put them in your little pouch that's on the front of your body correctly, you get a penalty for that.
You get a penalty for almost anything.
But I will say there was more room here for passing in sections. Yes. Especially on the first leg of the course, that the big obstacle was stairs.
Yes.
Because when you had the diamond course again, it's still harder to pass, but people would go, if you were close to somebody, you wouldn't go follow them on the same side. You'd go to the opposite side of the diamond, and maybe you could pass them there.
Right. And there was definitely passing happening in the downhill portion.
Oh, okay.
In certainly passing of, not necessarily up at front, because the front runner was the front runner, but as they were going along, you saw some movement in that downhill section, which was much more interesting than the sprints. Mm-hmm. Sprints were just too sprinty. To not competitive. Well, as we said, all the passing happened at transitions, and I don't think that's fun. It's not fun to watch.
No, but this was fun to watch, or more interesting. It was nicer to have a longer race so that you could be invested in people, because most of the people who won medals in the sprint won medals here too. So gold went to France, the team of Emily Harop and Thibaut Anselme. Silver went to Switzerland's Marianne Feton and John Kissler, and bronze went to Spain's Ana Alonso Rodriguez and or Oriel Cardona Cole. And all of the women won both medals. And 2 of the men were double medalists.
Yeah, just poor John Kistler is not a name we've said before.
Which, in a sense, shows how strong the podium athletes were. But it also makes me wonder, how deep is the field really in skimo? I was expecting Italy to be up there because they've been pumping this like nobody's business.
The U.S. finished 4th, which was apparently quite a good finish for them.
But I'm curious how well represented this sport is.
It'll be interesting to see if it sticks around.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It may have been fun, but people said breaking was fun too.
Right. And thankfully that went away. The protest came because Spain, Alonso Rodriguez, did one of her transitions not in the transition zone. So you get a penalty for that. So the question is, what was the level of penalty? They received a 3-second penalty. So that was not enough for the United States to catch them as the 4th place finisher. Had they received a more severe penalty, 30 seconds or a minute, the United States would have won bronze.
Interesting.
So that gets into how are different penalties assessed. And the announcers, at least when I was watching the feed, really didn't understand. They knew some of the penalties. They said, oh, okay, she's going to get a penalty for transitioning out of the transition zone. But what that penalty was going to be, they were not clear on.
Yeah, because there's a whole chart.
Right.
I went to the rule book and I was thoroughly confused. And I wonder if this was people who were trying to brush up on the sport and didn't have enough footage to watch, or footage with commentary or good commentary to watch and prep, and went, well, if it happens, we've got a list. But the penalties are different for individual races and team races and relay races. And we didn't have a team event here. We just had a relay and an individual. So it's really difficult to know what they're going to do.
And difficult on the fly, too. When you're on air and you're trying to do the announcing, you're covering a race and there's a penalty, you don't have time to sit there and look through the rule book.
Right.
Or look through your charts to figure it out. So I certainly don't blame the announcers, given this is a new sport for the Olympics. But they were trying to explain what was happening. Okay, here's the penalty. We don't know how it's going to be assessed. Yeah. So we have to wait until the end of the race, but it's coming. So let's see what happens.
Yeah, it's interesting. It makes you wonder how training works for that kind of thing, or if they're just kind of like, here's the rule book.
Good luck.
Good luck. Yeah. Because there was stuff in the rule book to break in heats and some stuff. If there's a tie, a photo finish is going to be used. If you can't break the tie with a photo finish, then the bib number breaks the tie. And the lower bib number gets first, or gets ranked higher.
That seems unfair.
It does seem unfair. And we won't go any deeper than this because I did copy and paste a whole bunch of stuff going, I don't understand this at all. But you probably don't see these penalties a whole lot, that kind of thing. So, yeah, it was a lot of fun to watch. And people seem to be having a good time, even if it's cold. Oh, hey, more fireworks, right?
More fireworks.
We had, we didn't tell you this. It's not that we forgot to. It's just that, when we finished taping at 1:30 in the morning, there were fireworks going on outside.
And now it's
1:20 and there are fireworks.
I guess this is the hour of fireworks.
Yeah, I don't know. How do they get away with this? But it's not even fireworks we can see.
Happy Chinese New Year, I guess.
I guess. Or we're still celebrating Carnival. I don't know. It's really wild. Let's move over to speed skating. And another confusing event.
Yeah, mass start.
So mass start is...
also known as mass chaos.
Mass chaos, mass start. This is the third Olympics for this event. And I'm still semi-unclear on how it works. But basically, everybody starts at the same time. And the results are determined by sprint points. So it's like 15 or 16 laps. And every few laps there's a sprint lap, and they get points for who wins the sprint, except for the very last sprint is the last lap or so, and they get those skaters 60 points, 40 points, and 20 points versus like 5, 3, or 1. So basically, if you're one of the top 3 finishers, you're going to get all the points and you're going to win. And
but
I guess
for
the other
people 4 and below, the sprint points matter.
Yes. So for the men, gold goes to Jorrit Bergsma, who's 40 years old. He's the oldest Winter Olympic champion in 100 years. Silver goes to Victor Hyde Thorup from Denmark. He's the first individual winter medalist for Denmark ever in a Winter Olympics.
And I think the last Winter Olympic medal for Denmark was 28 years ago.
Probably like a curling team.
Yes.
Yes. And then bronze went to Andrea Giovannini, who edged out Jordan Stoltz for the bronze.
And edged is the
Yes.
operative word there.
Big name in the crowd because the crowd was not all orange today.
It was not. It had some yellow.
It did, because Bart Swings, defending gold medalist, was on the track. He finished 9th. Not happy about this.
No, one of my favorites from Beijing.
Because this was just a wild final. So Bergsma and Thorup were like last and second to last to make it out of the semifinals and get into the final. And they said, the pace in the semifinal was high, but then when it came to the final, no one's making a move, and they're all just going around kind of casually. And so Bergsma goes and breaks out and says, I'm just going to go ahead.
And Thorup goes with him.
Yes, because Bergsman's like, hey, come on, like makes a little move on his back. Like, come on, buddy, let's go. And so they get way far ahead.
Like half
Yes.
the oval.
And seriously, there was a semifinal where the breakout person, it was a breakout woman, I believe, basically lapped the field. And eventually she got tired because she was all by herself, and the pack all caught up to her. But she made it into the final because of that strategy. I think she just went out ahead, and that's one strategy. Another strategy is just to hang out with the pack, and then you break out every once in a while. But so Bergsma and Thorup break out, and they spend a lot of time working with each other, and then they also had the Netherlands Steen van der Munt helping them in the peloton, because he caused a lot of chaos and disruption in the peloton, so that could not move fast, and helped the two in the front keep way in the front. And that was it. Like, they were so far ahead on that last sprint, nobody was going to catch them. And then Thorup couldn't catch Bergsma
At the end.
Yes. So Bergsma is our friend with the mullet and was skating around on his victory lap. Somebody had tossed him some hair.
As if he needs more.
So that was a lot of fun. He was thrilled. Thorup, beyond ecstatic.
Giovannini was not thrilled.
Oh, no, he was proud. He was very, very proud to have beaten Stoltz.
He was very proud, but he was very frustrated with how that race went.
Well, get out in front. If you see a pack, you're going to have to go. You can't just automatically assume that they're going to get eaten again. I mean, it's a weird, weird race. And it's almost like big short track races. Like I was watching the 1500 yesterday, and again, you had that slow start, and somebody's gonna have to make a move. Yeah, what are we gonna do?
And the announcer kept saying, they're being cagey, they're being cagey. I'm like, they shouldn't be cagey, they're racing. Just race.
Yeah.
Just race. Make it, maybe we need to make the mass start shorter, so there's not as much of this caginess.
I don't know, but it was wild.
It was
I will
wild.
say that. It was a wild, wild race. Then we had the women's mass start. Gold in that went to Marika Grunewald from Netherlands, who right after the race got engaged. That was a surprise to her. Silver went to Ivani Blondin from Canada. This is her last Olympics. And then bronze went to Mia Manganello from America, USA. This is her last Olympics too. So she was thrilled to kind of end everything with the bronze medal. In the second semifinal, Greta Myers did this from the US, did that same thing, went all the way off on her own in front and got sprint points, got reined back and dropped to the back. But she just qualified for the final based on that move.
Can we talk about this getting engaged after the races thing? Can I talk about this for a minute?
Yeah.
Okay. This makes me so angry.
Because I'm sure people are like, Alison, I think you would love this. It's love.
No, I hate this more than anything because this is a woman's professional success. And who does he think he is coming in and stealing her spotlight? Now it's about him and his proposal. And, ooh, I wanted the world to see us. No, let her have her moment by herself.
And get engaged later that
Get
day?
engaged at the restaurant. Get engaged at the
Party afterwards?
Yes. Let her have her success and stop trying to steal the spotlight with your stupid ring.
Okay. I'm neither here nor there about it,
Oh,
to be
it
quite
makes
honest.
me so angry. Because it's just the man can't give her a moment to be successful without him. Oh, will you marry me? No. I just won a gold medal. I'm not going to marry you, loser.
But what if you wanted to marry him?
Well, that's fine. That's your own stupidity. I can't help you there.
Wow. I'd even give that an oh wow as we rank them in my house. You just got an oh wow for that. Oh, we have one more day of fun. So speed skating is all done. Mass start was massy and wild. They did the parade of volunteers to
What
say
does that
thank you.
mean?
So I saw this in Paris. I saw it for the modern pentathlon because that was also like last day. It was the last day of competition for this venue. So all the volunteers at modern pentathlon went around the entire ring. And that is also when I saw the Marie Antoinette people on stilts. I wondered where they came from and how they all fit into this thing. And Frisia's bouncing all over the place. It was quite wild and quite lovely. And so they had a parade of volunteers, and I'm looking all over the venue for where are these volunteers? Why can't I see them? And they came in one gate for the seating area, like a spectator gate, and then went 2 gates down and then went back.
Because they had to do their jobs.
No, but it's you can't send them mostly around the track because they could go mostly around the track. I felt very bad for them that they got their Bigatron celebration because that's not super Jumbotron-y in there. So it was put you on the Bigatron and walk a few feet. Now, let's not give you the big parade.
We don't have Marie Antoinette on stilts here.
I
This is
know.
Italy. Calm down.
Pull out Da Vinci again. Come on. You could catapult a volunteer. Didn't he make catapults?
We could put him with the wings.
Right? Come on. Let's do something more for these volunteers. And by pulling the volunteers, that meant the Chinese guy next to me could film most of the stuff.
Did he film the volunteer parade?
No, of course not.
Of course
He was
not.
busy
Why would he do
filming
that?
races. Busy filming races. There was a lot of filming going on in our section. Oh, but one more day of competition.
Yes.
But Shuklistan is still competing.
Yes, Frank Del Duca and Josh Williamson finish up the 4-man bobsled along with Adam Adelman and his sled.
Excellent. Well, good luck, gents. We do have mascots today.
We have a mascot of the day with, I think, the best name of any of our mascots, Wolfgang von Pfaffel.
It is an excellent name.
It is a fantastic name. And Wolfgang is a silver, I'm not sure how to pronounce this, agouti guinea pig. So I apologize if that is not how it is pronounced. And Wolfie evaded rescuers in a Chicago Park District forest for 2 weeks in the winter before he was captured, brought in from the cold, and adopted. He is super chill. He's a big boy who has a heart condition, but is full of love and is an expert at making hay forts. His favorite snack is parsley.
I love it.
And parsley is very good for animals to give them fresh breath. So then Wolfie won't smell bad.
Very good. And I am so impressed that we have so many guinea pig mascots.
We have a lot of guinea pigs. We had an other official animal of Shuklastan, but I think that is out the window. I think it is the guinea pig.
It needs to be, because there are so many who are Shuklastanis as well.
That's right.
National. We'll work on that. Work on that for next quad, is making more Shuklastan stuff. We also have shout outs.
And our shout out today is Angwa from Medford, Massachusetts.
And Angwa is really Angela.
Ah, okay.
Because there's got to be no Angwa Olympians, but there is a paddler, Angela Hanna from Great Britain, who competed in canoe sprint, the kayak events at London 2012 and Rio 2016. So you have a namesake, sort of, there. A friend, because you have the same name, because, it would fall under your friend categories.
I don't see the problem there. As long as nobody's asking her to marry them, when they get to the finish line, we can be friends.
Alison's rules for friendship.
That's a big one.
All right. That is going to do it for this episode. If you would like even more of the most fun coverage of the games, hit us up. We're at flamealivepod.com. That is your source for socials, newsletters, direct ways to contact us. Don't forget we have a Facebook group that has been hopping all games. It's been a lot of fun. And that's Keep the Flame Alive podcast group. Be sure to tune in tomorrow. I'm not sure we're going to forget. Well, how would I know if we forgot something today until we turn off the tape?
We'll know tomorrow.
That's right. Or in 5 minutes, what we forgot to tell you about today. Tomorrow's closing ceremony.
Very exciting.
I'm heading out to Verona.
We will only be one gentlewoman of Verona. I'll
right.
be back here, but that's on Shuklastan House, holding down the fort.
Excellent. So grazie mille por l'ascolto.
And until next time, ciao, and keep the flame alive.